I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, where you check in with me every Monday to Thursday to see what's making the headlines here in Israel. And we begin with a letter written by Prime Minister Yair Lapid. The Prime Minister has written to 50 countries ranging from the United Kingdom to Brazil, to Belgium, to France, to Uruguay, to Vietnam, right across the alphabet, imploring them to not vote in favor of a General Assembly vote that is coming up that would seek an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice at The Hague on the situation between Israel and the Palestinians. In his letter, the Prime Minister says that this is again the singling out of Israel and an attempt to discredit our legitimization or our legitimacy as the nation state of the Jewish people and delegitimize our very existence. He also stressed that any agreements on the status of the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians and disputed territories must in fact be negotiated between Israel and the Palestinians. Now, this is the latest in a tactic employed by the Palestinians and their various supporters, supported by NGOs and human rights organizations, as an attempt to employ what we call lawfare to delegitimize Israel as the nation state of the Jewish people and call into question her very existence. And it's quite fitting that we're talking about it on a day like today, because today is the 29th of November. And if we go back to 1947, this was the day that the partition of what was then British Mandate Palestine was voted on at the United Nations. Seems to be the last time they took a smart decision to divide the land at that time between a country for the Arabs and a country for the Jews. The Jews accepted, and the rest is history. And today we have the state of Israel. The Arabs at the time refused the offer, instead opting to go to war. And here we have the situation where we stand today. So we're going to follow the story. We're going to see how these countries are going to vote at the upcoming UN General Assembly vote. Yesterday, we brought you the story of 3 Druze soldiers who were arrested by the IDF for throwing an explosive device at a Palestinian home in Bethlehem in the West Bank. Today, IDF Chief of Staff Aviv Kochavi condemned that attack, saying it goes against the very values of the IDF. Meanwhile, a soldier from the Givati Brigade who was filmed over the weekend in Hebron telling a left-wing activist that Ben Gvir will restore order was sentenced by the IDF to 10 days in a military jail. Now, I've been to Hebron and I understand the situation that soldiers face. Very often they are targeted by these human rights groups who are trying to get a reaction from them. And unfortunately, in this case, there is footage of the activist, grabbing the soldier from behind, and the soldier reacted how he reacted. Now, we have to remember that our soldiers adhere to a very strict code of conduct, and Israel is a democracy and has our right to ensure that our democratic values are enshrined and protected. Staying in the West Bank this time, the special envoy on the Middle East peace process from the United Nations, Tor Vennesland, has told the UN General Assembly that the West Bank, or Judea and Samaria, is at a boiling point. He attributed this to violence between Israelis and Palestinians. He also said this is the increased amount of the movement of arms within those areas. And he also went on to blame what he calls settler violence, but nowhere did he address the very, very difficult issue of incitement in Palestinian schools and in the media to attack Israeli civilians. He went on to say that the violence must stop. And our final story is one that you can all participate in. Yes, if you go to antisemitism or stopantisemitism.org, you too can have a vote in who is the anti-Semite of the year. So there are three illustrious people who are vying for that number one position. Currently in pole position is one Kanye West. In second place is Muhammad Hadid. He is the father of Bella and Gigi Hadid, known for some of the most unbelievably appalling comments and revision of history. And third is John Minadeo, the second of the Goyim Defense League. So come on, guys, your deadline is the 11th of December. Go to stopantisemitism.org. That is stopantisemitism.org, and vote for your favorite to win Anti-Semite of the year. Of course, we're going to present those results right here on the Israel Brief. And also, while you're on the internet, don't forget you can check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. If you want to write for us, please be in touch with us via our website or via our Facebook page. That Facebook page is at Lottel Site. A lot of you guys have either liked us or followed us. Please carry on if you haven't already. And don't forget to share our content. You can always find our daily brief, our articles, etc., all posted to our Facebook page. Our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. You guys know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. And we're on Twitter. You can follow us there at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll check in with each other tomorrow for those top stories.